Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to Raw Law Unfiltered with your host, the DUI Guy Plus. Today, I have a very special treat for you all. Today, we are going to be talking about the What the Hales suit against John and Lynette Preston, John Cook and Lynette Preston. So before we get into it, I want you all to know that I completely forgot about this gem, and it came on my radar the other day, and I was like, oh my God, the next time I go live, I am literally going to lead with this. So hashtag buckle up. Do you guys remember Auto-Tune the News? I hope they don't copyright strike me. I'm sure they're good people. I used to love their content back in college. You guys remember the Turtle song?
All rise for the guitar of liberty, as the founding fathers did rock before us. Now thou shalt rock.
You shall build a turtle fence. You shall build a turtle fence.
We don't have any turtles.
One mission, we got quite a few. A turtle fence is exactly what you would think it is. A turtle fence keeps turtles from
Getting hit by Lynette.
Those turtles that were climbing girls couldn't climb over the turtle fence.
Why?
It was turtle proof.
How?
It was run by Lynette.
The same thing is going to happen to healthcare. And one of these days, a congressman from Michigan's going to come back home and build a turtle fence. Build a turtle fence.
We need a rattlesnake fence.
You shall build a turtle fence.
In Otter Creek.
And I don't know if a snake can go over a fence or not.
Or if a big manatee can swim underneath the ice.
Drugs.
Build a turtle fence. Build a turtle fence.
The more I think, the more this Congress is making sense. Turtles are becoming doctors, we need her to fix. How shall we protect ourselves?
You shall build a turtle fence.
I thank the people of Massachusetts for electing me as your
Right.
next United States Senator.
That's enough for that. Oh, man. Tell me that does not just get you fired up. Oh, my God, you guys. All right. Oh, what a gem. What a freaking gem. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Let me do this real quick. Full screen mode. Da, 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 da. Okay. All right. Here we go. Now we're good. Present, share screen, window, boom, boom. Let's go. So, last we left them, if you remember, Jeremy and George continue making content. There was this weird dude from Hong Kong who made some sort of threat-ish, reported a threat. I still don't believe him. I think he's full of shit. The more he talked, the more we analyzed it, the more I heard from you guys, it feels like junk. But I mean, every threat should be taken seriously. I think by now we kind of realized it's all garbage, and hopefully we can move on to the next thing. I think you saw Jeremy. Even Jeremy was like, eye roll. Like, are you serious, bro? Like, come on, give me something good. So that was the last thing we talked about. Then we also talked about the latest filing from his lawyers, which was on March 6th. That was the last time I believe I talked about their case because his lawyers, Doreen and Randy, filed basically a request. Remember, Jeremy and his lawyers were given literally like 36 hours to file a writ that literally takes hours, days to write. And they asked for a week, and the judge is like, you have 1 day. And they're like, ugh. So they didn't sleep, and there was a lot of things that were kind of left off. So now they're asking the Court of Appeals, look, we're just trying to fill some stuff in, if you don't mind. And I doubt the Court of Appeals is going to care. They're going to be like, just come on down, whatever. That was on March 6th. And then my girlfriend and I, Chandler, hey, Chandler, I think she's watching. Hey, baby. We went on vacation, so we were gone. We flew Thursday to Miami. There was like a rumor circulating that we're going to see Jeremy and George. That did not happen because we went down to Miami. We're like 5 hours away from Levy County. However, we do at some point, maybe maybe have plans to come down to Levy County and say hello to the Hales. I'm not saying anything yet. I'm just saying maybe. We shall see. Tears of opposing counsel taste so good. I don't know if you guys ever tried it, but I recommend it very highly. So we were gone Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We just got back in yesterday. I've been literally driving all over the state today. I had a case in Graves County, Kentucky, of all places. Nice. I love the circuit court over in Graves County, by the way. Very, very professional. I met the prosecutor for the first time. I met the judge. Super cool people. I loved my time there. The only thing that sucks is that it's 4 hours away from here. So I drove like 4 hours last night. So we flew in at like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. We came home, we crashed, we ate, and then I left. So I didn't have time to do anything. I really wanted to stream, but I just didn't have the time. And that was yesterday. And then today I was in court. Then I drove back. We had an office meeting. We ate dinner, and here I am. So literally, this is like the first stream that I finally had a minute to myself. And March 4th. Let me take these out. March 4th. March 4th, they file a complaint. This is a new lawsuit. That Jeremy is filing, as you can see himself. George is not listed because he's the one alleging it specifically. United States District Court, Northern District of Florida. There's no case number at this juncture. There is one now, but when you file a complaint, you don't know what the case number is going to be because the clerks assign it. That's standard practice. 16 pages. One document, no attachments. Let's go over it. United States District Court, Northern District of Florida. Jeremy versus Lynette, Michelle, Lacey, Alexis Preston. Using all her names just in case. She's like, I am not Lynette. I am Michelle. I'm not Michelle. I am Lacey. I am not. You get it. John Cook, defendants. Complaint. This is how any lawsuit starts. You want to sue someone else's pants off? This is how it starts. Plaintiff Jeremy B. Hales, hereinafter Hales, by and through undersigned counsel, sues Lynette, Michelle, Lacey, Alexis Preston, hereinafter Preston, and John Cook, hereinafter Cook. So you're just going to see Hales, Cook, and Preston when they're talking about the parties. Summary of the case. This case is about the use of threats and or extortion to compel Jeremy to behave in a certain manner and or to persuade him to provide Preston and Cook with benefits, which is exactly what you all know. You've been following them. I know I'm getting messages from some of you, by the way, and you're like, I've been following the Hales since 2019. And I'm like, wow, you guys are like dedicated fans. This is incredible. This is amazing. I now understand why the Hales have so much support. You guys have been following them for like 5-6 years now. A lot of you. That's incredible. You know, I can only dream of continuing such a fan base myself. Summary of the case. Right now, the parties. Hales is a resident of Summit County, Ohio, who has built his career around his passions through social media, including without limitation, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and other platforms, with a current YouTube subscription fan base of over 700,000 people across the world for his YouTube channel, What the Hales, with a $sign. People who subscribe with Jeremy's social media platforms often pay monthly fees to Hales for premium access to his social media platform, which is an open video diary of his life. Hales' social media platforms are where people are educated, equipped, and encouraged with a dash of humor on the side. I think that's his lingo. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. That's what Jeremy does. We're educated, equipped, and encouraged. The 3 E's, I guess. That's a very good mantra. That's a very good mantra to have. There we go. See, even Jen is like, I followed them since 2019. See, I followed them since 2020. 2016, says Rose Chapman. For 8 bloody years. You guys are dedicated. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love everything about it. Okay. So Hales has expended, meaning spent, and continues to expend substantial time, money, and resources into acquiring subscribers, providing ongoing programs, and maintaining relationships and goodwill with them. Now, since October 2021 to date, Preston resides in Levy County, Florida. She's a Florida resident and has been a viewer of Hale's social media platforms since at least 2020. Why is this important? Because he's suing them in the first district, in the northern district, of Florida. So if she's not a Florida resident, that would cause other issues. Maybe she can be sued somewhere else, blah, blah, blah. This is just legal stuff, legal mumbo jumbo. We'll get to the meat later. This is just the appetizer. Since October 2021 to date, Cook resides on the same property as Preston, and as such, also as a Florida resident of Levy County, Florida, blah, 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 and who is also a viewer of Hale's social media platform since at least 2020. So both since at least 2020 have been watching the Haleses. Jurisdiction and venue. We know that this has court has jurisdiction over this statute. You can look it up on your own dime if you want, and on your own time. There's no need for that. This is just legal mumbo jumbo. And venue is proper in this court pursuant to another statute that is completely irrelevant for purposes of this video. Defendant's misconduct. Now we begin the story. Tell us the story. By the way, this is written, I believe, by, I know it was filed by Randy Shochet. I don't know if Doreen wrote it. Maybe they wrote it together, but I know that Randy's name is the one that appears on Pacer. This is where you can get access to these complaints. It's like 10 cents a page. I don't know if they still charge the general public. I think they still charge attorneys. I don't know, but you can have access to it, or if you want, it's all public. I can probably post it somewhere as well if you want a copy of it, but it's all right here. There's nothing fancy here, but I will decode it for you all and put it into plain language. Okay. So in December 2020, Hales purchased land for part-time operations of his social media platforms in Levy County, Florida. In 2020, Preston and Cook resided together in Northport, Sarasota County, Florida. And on or about May 18th, 2020, Preston started her own YouTube channel. How the stalking began. On or about July 17th, 2021, so this is the full story, the important bits. Preston drove from Northport, Florida, to a vacant lot. Now, this is important. Vacant lot. Look at that language. She didn't move into a home. She didn't purchase a property. She moves into an open space. Vacant lot across the street of all places. She could move anywhere in the world. She chose to purchase a vacant, empty lot across the street from the Hales' property in Levy County, Florida. Hereinafter, it's going to be called vacant lot across the road. Taking a fan picture, creepy as fuck, by the entrance to the Hales' property where his drive-through sign was publicly known to be located. Posting this fan picture to her social media, Preston falsely stated that she had bought the vacant lot across the road and that Hales was now her new neighbor. Creepy, to say the least. Very stalkerish behavior, as we can see, addressed in this complaint. Basically, Jeremy is done. Jeremy is done with the bullshit, and he now wants blood. As you will see, he's asking for $450,000 collectively in this complaint. You'll see what I mean. Follow along. On the same July 2021 visit, Preston asked Hales if he could help remove a tree from the vacant lot across the road, which he did not even own back in July of 2021. And Hales, not knowing that Preston was lying and believing her lies, that she was the owner of the vacant lot across the road, which she did not even own in July 2021, personally used his tractor to move the tree from the vacant lot across the road, which she did not even own. On or about July 21st, 2021, Preston and Cook listed their Northport, Florida house for sale. So now they list their property for sale. And on or about October 8th, so just 3 months later, Preston and Cook bought the same vacant lot across the street from the Hales' property in Levy County, Florida that she visited in July 2021. Then, on or about October 27, 2021, Preston and Cook sold their Northport, Florida house. Between December 2021 and February 2023, both Preston and Cook created multiple local Levy County Facebook pages asking for donations to Preston's 501c3, which is a nonprofit organization. It's a statute, federal statute. It's a shell thing, a purported tortoise rescue, not open to the public. Between December 2021 and February 2023, Preston made it clear to Hales that she was a fan of Hales and would on occasion ask Hales for free merchandise, stating that she needed money to pay her bills. Give me money. Please give me money. On or about February 12th, 2023. And I think this was the biggest mistake that the Hales ever made. Again, I love them to pieces. I love what they do. I love their altruism, their philanthropic mindset, their attitude. I love what they do. But you don't cater to stalkers, no matter how, just as you give them a grain and they think they can get the whole house. That's the problem with stalkers. So I'm not blaming them. I'm not faulting them. Again, they're good people. They're good-hearted people. So they're like, look, we'll give you this. Maybe she'll go away. And what happened? Oh, Lynette started striking at 10 times the force because she realized, wait a minute, it's working. You know, we followed him. He didn't respond. Like, we reached out. He didn't respond. We followed him. He didn't respond. I asked him to move a tree. He responded. Oh, he's helping me. Oh, what a nice guy. Maybe I can get some more. Can we have some this? No. Can we have some of that? No. Can we have some leap pads? Okay. Oh, it's working again. John, we got to move here. We got to, this guy, we're going to milk him for everything he's got. He's a sucker. We can suck his blood. We can vampire him. We're going to get everything, John. Come on, let's go. And that's where shit like completely goes sideways. By the way, don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, join on as a member. Don't forget to also super chat if you have questions, and join on as a member if you're so inclined. So between December 2021, Preston made it clear to the Hales that she was a fan of Hales and would on occasion ask him for free merchandise. Now, on or about February 12th, Hales relented to the constant request from Preston. Maybe, again, I understand where he's coming from. I understand where he's coming from. When you give a mouse a cookie, exactly, Phyllis Doreen. They're always going to keep coming back. Give me more, give me more, give me more, give me more. And gave Preston 2 leap pads. And there's a footnote. Leap pads are kid-friendly tablets that include preloaded content featuring core skills in mathematics, reading, and science, as well as music, puzzles, logic, and creativity to prepare kids for preschool and beyond. And that, by the way, that also goes to show the mindset of Jeremy and George. They didn't give her money. They didn't give her, you know, furniture. They gave something for her daughter, who at the time may have been like 3, maybe she was already 4. I mean, they gave something for the child. They care about kids. You know, they want kids to have a good education, and they're like, man, this woman is probably not going to give her a good education. So let us at least give her like a leap pad, you know, a couple of them if in case one breaks. Here you go. Just get off our backs, you know. But again, the problem is no good deed goes unpunished. And you're about to see how bad it became. Some of you already know. Some of you already know. For those of you who don't, and even for those of you who know, you may still be surprised because now Jeremy is going for the gullet. We're done playing games. We are done playing your game. We are done listening to your nonsense and your crap and your BS. We want peace. We want justice, and we want money. Even if you don't have it, it doesn't matter. Sell the property, whatever you have to do. If, I was going to say Johnny, I literally had a flashback to the Johnny Depp trial. If Jeremy wins, this could be an at least, or excuse me, at most $450,000 jury verdict. Now, of course, we got to get there first. So let's talk about it. Let's continue talking about it. On or about February 15th, 2023, this is just a year ago. Just a year ago. Preston asked Hales if she could attend for free, a paid meet and greet live event that the Hales was having in Levy County, Florida, with many of his fans and supporters visiting on site from around the world. Hales said, yes, sure. And on or about February 20th, Preston asked Hales if she could bring her own donation box to the paid meet and greet live event. Hales said, no. You cannot bring your donation box. You are not leeching off of me, you snake. Smart move. I would have done the same thing. Create your own channel. Get your own following. Why should you leech off of me? Being denied further access to pecuniary advantages, that just means potential monetary and non-monetary gains. they would have, if permitted to solicit donations from Hales' fan base, Preston and Cook maliciously, with malice intent, begin threatening to do injury to Hales' reputation with intent to thereby extort a pecuniary advantage for themselves. That's a very fancy way of saying they tried extortion. Do what we say, or we're going to screw you over in ways you can't even imagine. We're going to hurt you where it hurt. We're going to hit you where it really hurts. Now, Preston and Cook immediately began publishing defamatory statements about Hales on their various social media platforms. Maybe if we say enough bad things about him, this is how low of a blow these two scumbags. I'm sorry. There's no other word that I can use at this point, especially reading this. I'm literally taken there with them. You don't give us what we want? No problem. We will destroy you. You want us to stop? Give me. Give me, and then I'll stop. For a minute until I want more. And then I'm going to keep going. Give me. Okay. Thank you. All right. I'll stop. Okay. Now I want more. You don't want it? Okay. We're going to just, it's a vicious cycle. It's an impossibly ending cycle. In May 2023, for example, Preston stated on her social media that she watched Jeremy Hales' videos till recently, and Jeremy Hales only thinks about the size of his junk. Okay. Weird thing to say. And again, that also, people have been following Jeremy at this point for 7 years, some people, 6 years for others, 5 years for some still. And I'm sure they disagree with the statement, but not the point. The point is she's defaming and using negative, false statements to extract money, to extort money from Jeremy and George by extension. On or about May 1st, 2023, just 10 short months ago, Hales goes to Ohio with the intention to remain there until the fall of 2023, only returning occasionally for town hall meetings which occur on a monthly basis. In May 2023, when Hales returned from Ohio for a town meeting, Cook, number one, pulled a gun on Hales as Hales was driving by on a public roadway to enter his own property. Number two, Cook trespassed in his truck onto Hales' property with a gun, and when Hales confronted him and requested him to leave, Cook told Hales that if he moves one step further, he will see something, quote unquote, go bang. And three, maliciously threatened to do injury to Hales' reputation with intent to thereby to extort him from him a pecuniary advantage, and accordingly publicly stated falsely on Facebook that Hales' fiance had, this is disgusting, oral sex with him, and that he has photographs to prove it. There's an asterisk here, a footnote. Cook posted, quote, Jeremy would like me to post the pictures of my cock in George's mouth. You can't take this one down. George is misspelled. There's no apostrophe there. And again, cock, I guess, was also misspelled with an 8. After Hales left Florida to go back to Ohio in May 2023, Preston wrote many double-sided, now this is the most disgusting part, and you all know where this is headed, many double-sided road signs and placed them around the road surrounding Hales' property in Levy County, Florida. Those signs falsely stated, Jeremy Hales ard my daughter. She's 3 at this time, or 4 for God's sake. Jeremy Hales has to go. What the Hales? Jeremy Hales, Ohio arrest. No Ohio arrests in Levy County. Stop Jeremy Hales. Jeremy Hales needs to go. No child arrests in Levy County. I mean, I can't think of anything more defamatory or disgusting. Again, and it makes sense. You know, stop Jeremy Hales. No arrests in Levy County. And there's an asterisk. In July 2023, Preston posted on her social media that John posted the signs, not me. Brilliant cover. Brilliant. You kidding me? And again, you have to understand the mentality of a scam artist, of a leech, of a bloodsucker, of someone who will go to the ends of the earth. I mean, they moved across the street, for God's sake. But of course, that wasn't enough. If that's not enough, you take it to the next level, and then you take it to the next level, and then you take it to the next level until you get what you want. There is no end. There is no end to the aggression, because each time you're like, well, this is not working, so let's take it up a notch. I tried level 2. Let's try level 3. Let's try level 4. Let's try level 7. Let's try level 10. Let's try level 12. And then you get what you want, you revert back to 0. Okay, fantastic. I got what I wanted. Now let's try level 1. Apply pressure. It's torture. It is literal torture. This is torture mechanics. Okay? This is literal torture. You've seen mafia movies. They don't immediately rip your fingernails out. First, they ask you questions. Hey, where were you on July 7th, 2023, huh? What were you doing, huh? I wasn't there. You were with Rosie, weren't you? I swear I wasn't. Yeah, let me take a look at these. Oh, look at these pliers, huh? These pliers are looking mighty juicy, huh? You want those pliers? How many teeth do you have, huh? You probably take a couple of them. You're not gonna miss them, huh? Yeah, there you go, huh? Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And that's what they're doing. Accordingly, on or about May 23rd, 2023, Hales hired an attorney who sent a cease and desist letter. So they started off light. Cease and desist letter to Preston and Cook, which stated, as stated below, among other things, inter alia is a Latin term, means among other things. Excuse me. Your unlawful defamatory statements directed to Jeremy Hales on social media platforms constitutes libel, which is a part of defamation. You have libel and you have slander. They're both under the umbrella of defamation. Libel is written, slander is spoken. Constitutes libel under Florida law. Cease and desist publishing all defamatory statements. That's an order, Lynette. It has come to our attention that you posted defamatory statements regarding Jeremy Hales on various websites, including, but not limited to, Otter Creek Friends and Neighbors, Otter Creek Politics, The Heart of Otter Creek, It's a Shell Thing Incorporated, as well as other social media platforms. We demand that you immediately, A, cease and desist your unlawful defamation, of Mr. Jeremy Hales, Martha, George, What the Hales, and all other variations, including all misspellings and euphemisms, such as the YouTubers, neighbors, etc. B, immediately remove and delete all postings relating to Mr. Hales and his interests. And C, that you provide us with written assurance within 10 days that you will cease and desist from further libel directed to our clients. Very lawyerly language, basically saying stop it immediately, delete everything you have, and don't do it again. That was on May 23rd. 5 days later, on or about May 28th, Preston posted on her social media that, one, I'm gonna stand tall and not let Jeremy Hales hurt me ever again. Number 2, she will put a cap in his ass of anyone who tries to mess with me. And 3, I am down with it. You met your match, Mr. Hales. I don't know where that accent came from. I'm tired. Just roll with the punches, please. Despite knowing the falsity of their statements, Preston and Cook used their defamatory statements to persuade Hales' customers to stop supporting the Hales. Hales reported all of the above events while in Ohio, and in September 2023, an Ohio court issued a 2-year renewable restraining order, an injunction, against Preston and Cook for stalking Hales and his fiancée. To date, this has not stopped Preston and Cook from continuing their illegal acts against the Hales. Rather than cease, Preston has demanded that Hales provide her with a list of the names and contact information of all his donors. I mean, talk about the audacity, the gall of this woman. I will get money from you one way or another, whether you like it or not, Sonny. I mean, geez Louise. Terrifying. Terrifying. As a direct result of their misconduct, Hales has incurred damages. Obviously, you have to be injured in some way, not necessarily physically, but financially. How was he injured? Injury to the Hales' goodwill and reputation. In addition, Hales suffered injury and harm to his reputation, and he has incurred costs associated with his extensive efforts to mitigate against such injury and harm. Mitigate meaning to try and kind of lower it. You know, you can only do so much as a person. Preston and defendant's pattern of criminal conduct Preston and Cook's Act violated Florida's extortion statute. So there's a statute on point. This is Florida Statute 836.05, which makes it a felony to maliciously threaten someone to accuse another of a crime or offense with the intent to extort money or some pecuniary advantage. Again, it doesn't have to be monetary. Could be things, could be objects, items, property. Preston and Cook's Acts constitute predicate acts under Florida's RICO statute. This is the RICO violation, and are evidence of Preston and Cook's pattern of continuing criminal activity. Preston and Cook's Acts also violated that statute by maliciously threatening to injure Hales with the intent to extort money or gain any pecuniary advantage whatsoever, and or do any act or refrain from doing any act against his will. Preston and Cook's Acts constituted at least 2 distinct criminal acts in that violation of the statute, because the statute prohibits utterances or communications which constitute malicious threats to do injury to another person's reputation or property. That comes from Carricate, a Florida case from 1980, Supreme Court Florida case. As relevant here, Florida law makes it unlawful for any person to, quote, this is directly from the textbook, through a pattern, or from previous cases, that's what I mean by textbook, through a pattern of criminal activity to acquire or maintain, directly or indirectly, any interest in or control of any enterprise or real property, or for a person employed by or associated with any enterprise to conduct or participate directly or indirectly in such enterprise through a pattern of criminal activity. That's Florida Statute 772.103. Now we get to the meat. Okay, here we go. You guys have been patient for this. Now those of you who are here, you get the treat. You're the mouse that turned the milk into cream, and now you get to climb out. Count 1, defamation on Preston. Now, this is just talking about Lynette. This is an action for damages against Preston that exceeds $75,000 for defamation per se. So at least, I said at most $450,000. Actually, I should rename that at least $450,000, because in the beginning I said up to. I'm telling you, my brain is tired. So each and every single one of these, they're saying over $75,000. Over. At least $75,000. That's how you meet. You have to meet controversy. It's a fancy word for you have to find a way to land in this courthouse. Preston orally and in writing. So this is no longer just libel. This is libel and slander. Libel is writing. Orally is slander. Slander is oral. Libel is writing. Like I said, brain tired. My apologies. Preston orally and in writing published false statements about Hales to third parties. I'm actually going to change the title right now. Otherwise, I'm going to forget. Bear with me just 10 seconds here, folks. Here we go. All right. At least. I knew something felt wrong here. All right. Here we go. These false statements were calculated to defame or diminish the reputation of Jeremy in his immediate community and within his capacity. The false statements were made with knowledge or the falsity or with reckless disregard as to their veracity. This is directly from the statute. The false statements impute to the plaintiff, meaning they relate to the plaintiff's behavior or characteristics that are incompatible with the proper conduct of his business, profession, and office. The false statements also impute to the plaintiff the commission of a crime. As we all know, we won't repeat it. As a result of the defamatory publications, Hales suffered general damages. Again, don't worry about what that means. He suffered pay up, bitch. Wherefore, it is prayed that this honorable court enter a judgment for damages, costs, prejudgment interest, and for any other such relief as might be appropriate. Count 2, defamation against Cook. This is against John. Hales incorporates. This is an action for damages against Cook, also exceeds $75,000 minimum. Cook orally and in writing published false statements about Hales to third parties. Also made statements calculated to defame and diminish the reputation of Hales in his immediate community and within the capacity. The false statements were made with knowledge of their falsity. So it's the same language, behaving the characteristics, business or profession, office. You can see it's the exact same against John. It is prayed this honorable court, enter judgment, prejudgment interest, damages, costs, etc. You get it. So the same thing Basically, in one sentence, TLDR, John and Lynette both defamed me, and I won collectively a minimum $150,000 from them both for the libel and the slander for all the shit they said about me. Voila. On a chef's plate. Chef's kiss. Mwah. Brilliant work. Whoever wrote this, you're a genius. I love you. Count 3, civil remedies for criminal practices. What is this? Let's find out. So again, incorporates the action for damages, minimum $75,000. In 2 distinct instances, separated in time, Preston extorted. There it is. Okay, so criminal practices. So you don't have to try and pursue criminal charges against them, because we all know Jeremy's not going to get very far, because the sheriff's office is not there to cooperate with Jeremy and help him press criminal charges against Lynette, because for some reason they're siding with her. I still don't know why. Maybe because they don't want Jeremy there. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. But what we do know for a fact is that you can sue civilly. That's what that means. Okay, civil remedies for criminal practices. The criminal practice being extortion, you have civil remedies for that. What does that mean? Pay up. Pay up, Rich. In 2 distinct instances, separated in time, Preston extorted Hales, and within the meaning of the Florida statute. Preston's acts constituted a violation of Florida statute such and such, which prohibits any person from using a written communication to maliciously threaten injury to the property of another with intent to extort money or any pecuniary advantage whatsoever, or with the intent to compel the person so threatened or any other person, or do any act or refrain from doing any act against his or her will. Excuse me. Preston's conduct, among other acts, constituted a pattern of criminal activity in violation of another statute by constituting a, quote, endeavor to violate any of the provisions of the statute, namely this one, which prohibits any person from participating, little typo here, in an extortion enterprise through a pattern of criminal activity. This ongoing pattern of criminal conduct constitutes a continuing threat to illegal conduct persisting into the future. Wherefore, Hales respectfully requests that the court enter a judgment in its favor and award the following relief: actual damages in the amount established at trial, statutory damages, attorney's fees and costs incurred in the prosecution of this action, so pay for all the lawyer work we have to do to get you to pay up for the damage you have done, Lynette, and this is just Lynette for now, and such other further relief as the court may deem appropriate in the circumstances. Now, my guess is the next paragraph is going to be exact copy and paste of count 3, because it's now civil remedies for criminal practices against Cook. Again, incorporation, $75,000. In 2 distinct instances, also, Cook extorted Hales, and within the same meaning of the same Florida statute. Now, he did something a little bit different. He prohibits another person from using written communication to maliciously threaten injury. Or is that the same thing? Yeah, maliciously threaten injury. Yeah, same thing. Same exact thing. To the property of another with intent to extort money, pecuniary gain. We're not going to read it again. You guys got it. Same paragraph. Copy and paste everything that I just said about Lynette. I'm saying the same thing about John. And what do I want? I want actual damages, statutory damages, attorney's fees, such other relief as the court may deem appropriate. Now, number 5. Count number 5 against Lynette. Oh, this is one of my favorites. A turtle interference with advantageous business relationships. Huh? Did he just say turtle? No. Yes, I did. Tortious. What the hell is a tortious? I've heard of a tart. Is it one of those like little cakes that has like a little bit of cream on it and has like raspberry and it tastes delicious? And actually, it's making me hungry. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a tort. What is a tort? A tort is a civil action. Tortious interference with advantageous business relationships. That basically means you are getting in the way. I'm trying to conduct business here. I'm trying to run a business. Imagine somebody standing in front of my building with a sign going, free, free the European Union from Democrats or whatever. And people are like, hey, I'm just trying to come over to Mr. Foreman. I want to pay my retainer. And they're like, no, you shall not pass. We are here picketing against the European Union. It's like, fine, like move out. No, I'm standing in the way. You shall not pass. You shall not You know, that would be tortious interference with my business practices. I can't get paid by a client because there's a person standing in the way. Even though they have a right to assemble, they don't have a right to assemble in a way that interferes with my business. And because they would be interfering with my business and ability to make money, I could sue them for this exact same thing. This is what that means. Infringing on someone else's rights. Exactly, Hatsune Vimiko. Exactly, you got it. So, again, paragraph incorporated. This is an action against damages for Preston that exceeds $75,000. If anybody's doing the math, we're at $375 minimum, $375,000. And here's what the complaint says. Hales maintains valid and enforceable contracts and business relationship with his customers. He's got customers all over the place, right? Some of them are his fans. Some people are people he has helped. Some of them are people who he has bought storage units and gave it back to them in auctions. Preston is knowledgeable of the contractual and business relationship between Hales and his customers because she follows him on the channel. We know this. Despite her knowledge of the customer's contractual and business relationship with Hale, Preston intentionally, there is the key word, intent. For this one, you have to have intentional conduct. Remember, tortious interference with advantageous business relationships. Intent is part of the statute. You can't do it accidentally or negligently. It has to be intentional. And without valid justification, interfere with such a relationship, which she did. Hales is damaged by Preston's unlawful conduct by losing revenue streams that otherwise would remain with Hales absent Preston's interference with Hales' valid contractual relationships. This doesn't necessarily mean revenue from streams. This is legal language for revenue sources, which includes YouTube streams potentially and other things as well. People may be like, well, I don't want to associate with Jeremy. These are horrendous things that are being alleged against him. That's what that means. Wherefore, Hales respectfully requests that the court enter judgment in his favor and award the same relief, compensatory damages, attorney's fees, etc. Now, the same thing against John. Tortious interference with advantageous business relationships. He did the exact same thing, over $75,000, at least $450 if you all are counting. This is $450 now. Hales maintains valid enforceable contracts, contractual business relationship intentionally without valid justification. He interfered. Hales has been damaged, and therefore Hales requests compensatory damages, trial, attorney's fees, etc. Demand for jury trial. Now, this is very important. This is very, very, very important. Jeremy is requesting a trial by jury. If you don't do this, you're basically saying you're okay with the court making a decision without a trial. You don't get a trial by judge in federal court. There's no such thing. At least I have never seen it. I know you can get one in district court. You can't get one in federal court. I don't think I've ever seen one. It's basically going to be ruled by motion. The judge is just going to decide like, yeah, you're going to get this much, maybe, you know. You always demand a jury trial. And Randy, of course, he's not an idiot. He has requested a trial by jury on all issues that are triable, and every single one is the defamation, the tortious interference, and the extortion. Shochet Law Group, attorneys for Jeremy Hales, Randy Shochet, signed by him, his Florida bar number, certified that on March 4th, he electronically filed the foregoing document with the clerk of court, and it is official document that is now part of the lawsuit. So it begins. Another Hales saga that is going to be running parallel to Judge DeThomasis. Judge DeThomasis. Did I get that one right? I think I finally got it right. By the way, don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, hit that notification bell, and join on as a member. And if you have questions, I'm going to be reading those right meow. Thank you, Crafty, for joining on as a member, Michelle Russo, as well as Tessa Robles and Bladehauser. And oh, look at that, Paige Woodward coming in hot with the 5 gifted subscriberships. Whew, brain tired. Okay, Kitty Cat Lover, I am too. Welcome to the channel. Cheeky Candy. Do you guys have like the coolest names? I swear to God. Help. I got a DUI. I'm sentenced to 15 days Turtle leap? What? All right. Lolly, lay off the crack pipe. Anyway, so yeah, so that's where we're at, folks. This lawsuit is going to take a while. These things are never fast. I believe if the federal, I don't practice federal court, but I think they have 20 days, like in every lawsuit, they have 20 days to answer. If within 20 days you are not, if you don't respond, you get a default judgment against you. And at that point, you basically get to request whatever monetary damages that you want. Zinnia's trying to get in the door, and that's why I locked it, because like I knew this moment was going to come. But I'm finishing up anyway, so I'm going to go play with her in a second. She wants to play. She hasn't seen me like all day. Yeah, seriously, that was awesome. You know, it was not 400 pages of absolute nothingness like Lynette. Thank you for being a member for 19 months, Matrix. Holy crap, has it been that long? I remember you from the Dep trial. When should we get a decision on this case? Ooh. Maybe by the end of 2025. Maybe sooner, depending. Maybe 2026 if we're unlucky. So this is going to take a while. This case is going to take a while. It's a federal case. Yes, they can file bankruptcy on this. Yes, they can, unfortunately. Also, this girlfriend of yours. Who? What? Huh? Why are you talking about her? Has she been group approved? I don't know. You're going to have to wait and see. She better be nice and understanding and love us. Hey, babe. Are you nice and understanding and do you love the chat? She says I love the chat, so she's approved. She says, hello to chat. You guys are awesome. I added the thumbs up. I don't think she thumbs up. Helen Gall says, nice to see you back. Thank you so much, Helen. Really appreciate it. It's good to be back. Quack is whack. Yes. Yes, it is. Thank you for all you do. You are the best. No, you are the best, Debbie. And I hope your hubby is doing better, by the way. I remember you were mentioning that he was in the hospital, but I talked to you finally on the phone, and I think we're Gucci Tamaguchi, and I'm glad that he's doing okay. I believe I haven't heard anything different, so I'm praying. And yeah, SA says, has a JH contacted the Institute of Justice? So the JI, the Justice Institute, or IJ, are they IJ or JI? I think they're IJ, Institute for Justice. Yeah, IJ. Since they work First Amendment cases, if not suggested, please to them. I think they know. I mean, come on, they know by now. They know. Chad says, approved. Approved. Chandler is approved. No questions. You're approved, babe. That's fantastic. I love it. All right, you guys. Listen, I love you all. Thank you all for joining. I just want to keep this short just so that people can understand what the heck is going on. We're going to come back tomorrow with Peeping Tom case. Remember the Peeping Tom case where Judge DeThomasis defended a slime bag prosecutor who was peeping on another woman changing in a tanning salon? Yeah, we're going to cover that. Cat shit. Thank you for the 10 DUI guy. Thanks for making the law understandable to non-lawyers. Hey, it's the least I can do. You know, what's the point of a law degree if you can't teach others? So I'll be back tomorrow. We are back on a regular schedule, folks. So hopefully there's going to be a stream every day. Also, don't forget, I am going to have a special guest on Wednesday. On Wednesday, I have for public safety. He's going to be right here, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, right here on this channel. Also, next week, some of you may know this guy. Some of you may follow him, The Random Patriot. He's going to be on with another special guest, a woman that had a broken rib after she tried to speak out simply in public and was pummeled by a police officer completely unjustifiably. And that has created so much hell. That's going to be happening on Monday. So next Monday, a week from today. And then we have more in the hopper. I have something big brewing. Now, I'm not just saying that, I promise. There's something really big, but I'm going to my mouth for now. Bye, everybody.